There is a moment, and you know this moment, when everything is objectively fine. Nothing is wrong, no crisis, no emergency. But you're sitting there, and you feel this low, quiet weight that you can't quite explain. And the worst part? You don't even have a reason for it, which somehow makes it worse. What if that weight isn't about your life? What if it's about your brain's chemistry? And what if there was a 15-second habit you could do anywhere, anytime, that would literally start changing that chemistry today? Not a supplement, not a new routine, not a journaling practice that requires 45 minutes and a specific type of pen. 15 seconds, done right, every single day. And the science behind it is going to change how you understand happiness forever. Stay until the end of this video, because I'm going to show you why this works, not just tell you it works, and that understanding is what makes it stick.
There's also a common mistake people make with this habit that completely kills the effect. I'll tell you what it is, and it's not what you'd expect. Let's start with what most people get completely wrong about happiness. They treat it like a destination. Like once enough good things happen, they'll arrive there and stay. But happiness doesn't work like a destination. It works like a muscle. Specifically, it works like a neural circuit. And neural circuits do one thing above all else. They get stronger when you use them and weaker when you don't. Here's what's actually happening inside your brain. Your brain has what neuroscientists call a negativity bias, a built-in tendency to register negative experiences more intensely and hold on to them longer than positive ones. This isn't a flaw, it's evolution. Threats needed to be remembered. Safety was less urgent. But in the modern world, this ancient software runs constantly, even when there are no actual threats. Scanning, flagging, amplifying every discomfort, while letting positive moments slide by almost unregistered. Dr. Rick Hansen at UC Berkeley describes this as the mind being like Velcro for negative experiences and Teflon for positive ones. The bad sticks. The good slides off. And you can't solve that by just having more good things happen. You have to change the Velcro. That's exactly what the 15-second habit does. And here's the neuroscience that explains why it works. When you have a positive experience, any positive experience, your brain generates a brief signal. But unless that signal is held in conscious awareness for at least 10 to 15 seconds, it doesn't transfer from short-term processing into long-term memory. It evaporates. You experienced the good thing, but your brain didn't keep it. This is why you can have an objectively great day and still feel empty by evening. The good happened, but it didn't get encoded. The 15-second habit is the act of deliberately staying with a positive experience long enough for it to encode. It's that simple, and it is also that powerful, because repetition of this over weeks and months literally thickens the neural pathways associated with positive experience. Your brain begins to notice, seek out, and anticipate good moments, not because you forced optimism, but because you trained a circuit. The moment something good happens, and it does not have to be significant, you stop. Not physically, mentally. You pause inside the moment. It could be anything. Your coffee is exactly the right temperature. Someone smiled at you genuinely. You finished a task. The sunlight hit a window in a way that looked almost cinematic for a second. A song you like came on. Your body felt comfortable and warm. Any of these. The size of the moment doesn't matter. What matters is what you do with it in the next 15 seconds. Here's the exact process. When the good moment arrives, you notice it. Actively, not passively. You say to yourself, either in your head or out loud, "I'm noticing this." Then you sit inside the sensation for 15 seconds. Don't rush past it. Don't immediately reach for your phone. Don't let your brain skip to the next thing. Just breathe it in. Let it fully occupy your awareness. Feel where it lands in your body. Is it in your chest, your shoulders, your face? Let the physical sensation of the good moment register completely. 15 seconds. That is the full practice. Done correctly, meaning done with actual attention, not just noted and moved on, this is what transfers the experience from fleeting perception into encoded memory. Your brain now has a record of that moment, and records compound. Here's what makes this habit genuinely different from count your blessings, which most people find doesn't work long-term, and for good reason. Gratitude lists engage your cognitive brain. They ask you to think about things you're grateful for, which is largely an intellectual exercise. Your prefrontal cortex produces the list, but the emotional centers, the areas that drive craving, motivation, and the actual felt experience of happiness, often stay relatively uninvolved. It's like thinking about a meal instead of tasting it. The 15-second habit is different because it targets the limbic system directly. When you deliberately hold a positive sensory experience in conscious awareness, you activate the brain's reward circuitry, including dopamine release, in real time. Not as a memory, as a present moment experience. And dopamine doesn't just make you feel good, it tags the experience as worth seeking again. That is the craving mechanism. You are training your brain's reward system to tag positive, present moment experiences as things worth pursuing. Over time, your brain starts scanning for these moments the way it previously scanned for threats. The circuit flips. This is what Dr. Andrew Huberman at Stanford calls subjective state control, the deliberate modulation of your neurochemistry through specific behaviors. The 15-second pause is one of the simplest and most accessible forms of this. No equipment, no time block, just 15 seconds of intentional attention. The common mistake: this kills the effect. What everyone gets wrong, and why the habit stops working when they do it. Here's the mistake, and this is the one I mentioned at the start of the video. Most people, when they try this, do it as a cognitive exercise. They notice the good moment, they think the words, "I'm grateful for this," and they move on within 2 or 3 seconds. That is not the practice. That is a thought about the practice. The science is specific. The encoding requires duration. Less than 10 seconds of focused attention doesn't complete the transfer. You've acknowledged the moment, but you haven't installed it. It's like taking a photo with a dead battery. The shutter clicks, nothing saves. The second mistake is waiting for big moments. People think they need something significant, a promotion, a beautiful vacation, a major life win to do the practice. But small moments done consistently are neurologically more powerful than rare large ones because the brain changes through repetition, not magnitude. The warmth of a shower, the satisfaction of a completed sentence, the color of the sky at a random moment on a random Tuesday. These are sufficient. These are more than sufficient. They are, in fact, the whole point. Your brain isn't broken because you haven't had enough big wins. It's under-practicing on the moments that are already there, every single day. What happens to your brain when you do this every day for a month? Done daily, even just 3 to 5 times a day, 15 seconds each. Here is what research and practitioners report over 30 days. Your baseline mood rises. Not dramatically, not in a way that makes you feel artificially positive. Just the floor moves up. The low moments don't go as low. The neutral moments start feeling slightly warmer than they used to. Your brain's threat scanning behavior decreases measurably. Because you have been consistently activating the reward circuit, the negativity bias begins to rebalance. It doesn't disappear, it was never supposed to, but it stops dominating every moment the way it previously did. You start noticing good things before you have to remind yourself to. The circuit runs automatically. That's the shift from effort to identity, from "I'm trying to be more positive" to "I'm just someone who notices good things." It becomes who you are, not what you're practicing. And here's what's underneath all of it. You stop feeling like happiness is something that needs to happen to you. You start feeling like it's something you participate in creating. That shift from recipient to participant is one of the deepest changes in psychology. It's what separates people who feel at the mercy of their circumstances from people who feel agency inside their circumstances. And it starts with 15 seconds. Done today. Right now, if you want. Your brain, right now, is tuned to a certain frequency. Not because of who you are, not because of how hard your life has been, and not because of anything permanent. Because of what it has been repeatedly asked to do. And what it's been repeatedly asked to do can change. Not through willpower, through repetition of something small, done consistently in the right direction. 15 seconds. A moment that was already going to pass anyway, now passes through you instead of past you. That's the difference. That is the whole habit. And if you do it today, then tomorrow, then the day after, 30 days from now, you will look back and notice that the low, quiet weight you started this video with feels lighter than it did. Not because your life changed dramatically, because your brain learned a new default. You always had the capacity for this. You just needed to know where to aim it. Try it right now, before this video ends. Find one thing, anything, that is even slightly good about this exact moment. The fact that you're here, learning this. The device you're watching on. The air in your lungs. Hold it for 15 seconds. Actually hold it. Don't rush. If you felt something shift in those 15 seconds, drop the word good in the comments, because I want to know. And because someone else scrolling the comments might need to see that it worked for a real person before they try it themselves. Share this with someone who seems like they've been carrying that quiet weight lately. You don't need to explain anything, just send it. The video will do the rest.